catcher. Donald got there in the air, intercepted by the Rams, and they may ride to the Super Bowl on that.
This is for you, Kings fans, wherever you may be. All the frustration and disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first post-game live of the 2024-25 NBA season here on Dime Dropper. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper for all things LA sports and LA basketball, especially. And you can follow your boy on social media at Twitter and Instagram at Dime Dropper Pod. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donation is appreciated for the first live of the season. Tonight we're going to be talking about Lakers, Wolves, Knicks, Celtics. And if you have not seen my details for my plans for this season, go check that out. It's a short video that I just posted. And of course, the first time at the Intuit Dome, 20 for a game, 20,000 views on that one. Go check that out. One of my greatest ever videos. Of course, we'll be in the building tomorrow night for that. But before we start talking about anything, the Dodgers are the main topic of discussion in the city right now. And we got some horrific news tonight. One of the saddest things that could have possibly ever happened. Fernando Valenzuela, you could argue is on LA Mount Rushmore for me, passed away at 63. 63 is way too young. Fernando is part of the biggest reason why we have such a huge Latino presence in the Dodger fan base. I mean, when you go to a Dodger game, Latinos are the majority. And I always asked my parents that as a kid, or my uncle. I was like, how come that's the case? Even though at this point, Los Angeles, the majority of LA County is Latino. But it was just amazing. Not amazing. It's just amazing what Fernando did for the city and what he's done for the fan base. And I got so many of them invested into baseball here in LA, and I heard so much about him. The lefty, 2 rings, Cy Young, World Series, Rookie of the Year, same year, 1981. It's a terrible day, man. And now we got to win it. Like, it just makes it even more clear that we got to win this thing. For Fernando, for Tommy, and for, of course, this guy right here, Vince Scully. Shout out to my boy Golden Knight for the hoodie, man. Chick Hearn, Vince Scully with the palm trees and the downtown LA skyline behind him. It doesn't get better than this. Appreciate you, man. Shit is tough. Shit is fucking hard. But anyway, Lakers, Timberwolves. Rest in peace, Fernando. We got to win it for you, baby. Lakers, Wolves. JJ Redick's coaching debut. I obviously was pretty critical of the Lakers in the offseason by not doing much. Had him as the 8th seed. But let me tell you, JJ, as much as I hate to say it, I'm a hater. His coaching debut was about as good as it gets. Offensively, the Lakers looked a lot more dynamic. He said he wanted to have AD as more of a hub. We saw that. A lot of AD in the high post, a lot of LeBron in the high post, and guys cutting off of them. Back screens happening, down screens happening, off of them in the high post, getting into some DHOs from the top of the key. A lot more movement and motion-based concepts. JJ said he wanted them to shoot a lot more threes. Tonight, he didn't quite get that. Just 33-point attempts for the Lakers, 41 for the Wolves. But the motion, how much LeBron was used as a screener, how much LeBron was used in off-ball ways and not just standing around. It was pretty impressive. It was borderline a motion offense. And LeBron's never played for a motion offense. And one of the biggest things that's going to be needed is statistical sacrifice. When you look at LeBron, I mean, in Miami, he wasn't as ball dominant. You saw him in transition a lot more. You saw him as the screener at times. He had Dwayne Wade to defer to. But besides that, he's been pretty ball dominant. Now, since they got Austin Reeves and D'Lo, he's been more comfortable deferring throughout the game, and then in the fourth quarter, he takes over. But when I say deferring, a lot of that is standing on the wing, standing around, the occasional cut a couple times a game when he sees an opening, but for the most part, pretty stagnant on both ends of the floor. Right? And again, he is 39 years old and still playing at this level. I mean, year 22. Are you kidding me? It's like, you just don't see a real decline in this guy. So everything that I'm saying, I am analyzing and critiquing him as the player that he is, which is still one of the best players in the NBA. Now, I had him 11th going into last season. I haven't made a top 10. I'd probably still have him around there. But if we're talking playoffs, then he's definitely in the top 10. But if LeBron is willing to average, let's say 23, 7, and 6, that might be huge for the Lakers, because then he's not doing as much on the ball, which will keep him fresher for end of games and ultimately the long haul. You're making AD even more so of that guy, the number one option. And to me, AD's been the best player on the Lakers since the 2023 playoffs. I thought last year was the first season where he was the best player on the Lakers. But LeBron is still that closer. He's still that leader. He's still the face of the franchise and the face of the NBA. But for me, Anthony Davis wasn't just going to be able to get the keys from LeBron super easily. LeBron's still that guy. LeBron still is the man in every room he walks into. But I don't think LeBron was super resistant to hand over those keys to AD. AD had to go get it, though. In 2020 in the finals, in the bubble, he didn't go get it. 2021 season, right after the ring, he didn't go get it. I thought that was going to be the year where the keys were officially handed to him. And LeBron was still that good, so maybe it wasn't time for it yet. 2022, AD gets hurt. LeBron at that point just trying to chase Kareem. The winning that season was done. We already knew the Westbrook experiment was terrible there at that point. And then 2023, he was trusting AD. I'm sorry. Or in 2023, I think after AD came back from injury in that ending of the season, he was very good and took that momentum into the playoffs. And we saw how much he dominated Memphis and Golden State. Then last year, coming off that postseason, he really, before last season, I think AD with the Lakers, after 2020, it took a bad performance for him to play great. It was like, which AD are you going to get on offense mainly? His jumper has also declined over the years since that 2020 season. But last year, it looked like it came back a bit, that he could hit some mid-ranges here and there, that he could pick and pop for some 18-footers. Because that hurt him in 2023. He embraced that, okay, I'm really good around the basket. I'm going to be around the basket. I'm going to dominate on the offensive glass. I'm going to roll hard. I'm going to try to catch the ball in the post a little more. But to get back to that 2018, that 2020 AD, to me, that jumper's got to be there. And I think last season, I'm going to look at the stats right now on Basketball Reference. So his field goal percentage by distance from 10 to 16 feet. Okay, so I'd say in 2023, 44%. The previous year, 32. Previous year, 41.5. So he's actually been shooting better from 10 to 16 feet the last 2 years than any year as a Laker. Now, when we're talking 16 feet or further, like the long two, 36.5% last year, 37% in 2023, and then 41% in 2022. But that shot is the shot that he takes the least of the ones listed on Basketball Reference, which are 0 to 3 feet, 3 to 10 feet, 10 to 16, and then 16 to the three-point line. Actually, no, and let's see. Yeah, last season he only shot 9% of his shots on that long two distance. But the stats show that it didn't happen last year. It was the last 2 years where his jumper seems like, okay, it might be getting better again. Might be getting back to 2018, 2020 levels. But I also think Anthony Davis has figured out that he's unstoppable around the basket, and why not just stick to that? Last season, he only shot, and I know JJ's going to want him to, have an uptick in this number, but only 1.4 threes a game. And he didn't shoot well, 27%. Previous year, 1.3, shot 26%. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he realizes what he needs to be, what he needs to do. And tonight he was absolutely incredible. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about AD's performance. But first, a word from Mint Mobile, who this video is in partnership with. Ever wanted to cut back on your monthly bills? You've got health insurance. You got different kinds of insurance. You got your TV, cable. You've got your phone bill. You've got your electricity. And you want to cut down, simplify that. Well, that's why I'm so intrigued by Mint Mobile, who this video is in partnership with. They offer premium wireless for just $15 a month. I can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. I can even bring my own phone along with my current phone number and existing contacts, so I'm not sacrificing anything. I've used Mint Mobile, and the thing about Mint Mobile is it's not hard to switch your service. Big Wireless wants you to think it's hard, but it's really not. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. So if you want to save little money without the sacrifice, go to https://trymintmobile.com/dimedropper. That link will be in the description so you can get started. Switching your plan takes as little as 15 minutes. That's Mint Mobile. All right, back live from Los Angeles. Shout out to the 30 people in here in the live. Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 a dime. Talking Lakers, Timberwolves, and the big night from Anthony Davis, who to me was the best player on the court by a distance. 36 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, just 1 turnover on 11 for 23 shooting, 1 for 3 from deep, 13 for 15 from the line. There are so many things I like about that stat line if I'm a Laker fan. Number one, a 30-plus point game from your best player. You want Anthony Davis to be that guy now. You heard MVP chants in the Staples Center crowd tonight. By the way, new Jumbotron looks good, but that tarp intro is gone. That was the best part of Laker games. I think net loss, personally. I mean, come on. The tarp intro was iconic. So let's also just keep talking about AD. With the way I was talking about the Laker offense, a lot of those delay actions with AD initiating from the top, getting into dribble handoffs, and also just being able to survey the floor, it also makes him more aggressive. Using him as this hub, as JJ's described, it just empowers him a little bit more. And if LeBron is down for the statistical sacrifice that comes with playing off ball this much, this team has a chance to thrive. Because not only are you making AD the man then, you're also giving more responsibility to Reeves, who wants it and is going to have to keep getting better every year for the Lakers to progress, and D'Angelo Russell to feel a little more comfortable. But D'Angelo Russell is also playing off ball, and how much, can he stay in rhythm for those catch and shoot jumpers? Because tonight he got a lot of clean looks and he didn't hit. But I still thought there were some good things from D'Lo overall in the game. For example, when I first turned on the game, I had to miss the first quarter, sadly. Sorry, Laker Nation and Dime Dropper fam. I had a practice to coach for one of my rec teams. But when I turn on the game, second quarter, Lakers are down 23-22. They completely turn it around. And I know it's cliche, but at halftime, Chris Finch agreed with me, apparently. They just didn't even look like they were in the same, like they were still in preseason mode, and the Lakers were like, hey, it's opening night. We have a bunch of people watching all across the world. Let's go out and play hard. The Timberwolves were this hard-nosed defensive team last year that would get into your grill and make every second of you having the ball offensively tough. They were just at half speed tonight. Lakers were more physical defensively, more physical on the glass. They were crashing the offensive glass early, which I heard JJ say in preseason. He wants him to really crash, take advantage of that size. I mean, when you have a starting lineup of Rui, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, D'Lo's not even that small. It's a pretty big team. Now, they were just more physical. They were better on the ball. Thought Austin Reeves picked up right where he left off in the second half of last season and the postseason with his on-ball defense. But also his help defense was incredible throughout this game. So many good moments of going up vertically without fouling at the rim against bigger guys coming at him. And then Rui Hachimura, I thought, was very physical as well. And based on all this movement, now you're getting LeBron on the move. Now you're getting LeBron as the screener, which I love because it then gives him the opportunity to have the ball downhill in a half-court set and making a quick decision. Who's better in that department than LeBron James in the league? He's so experienced. At this point, he sees the game in slow motion relative to a lot of these guys. But it also empowers AD when he catches the ball there to be more aggressive. He got to his step back a couple times, taking Rudy Gobert off the bounce. I've said it for years. Rudy Gobert cannot touch Anthony Davis as a defender. I'm sorry, not as a defender. Just he can't guard him at all. But I also think AD is a better defender than him because he's just a little more versatile, better under the perimeter, better one-on-one. Rudy Gobert, he's one of the best rim protectors of all time. But I agree with Shaq on a lot of the things he says about Rudy. Escar Gobert, getting sunned out here by AD. Even though I'm not messing with JJ, I'll take. See, there's a difference. I can give JJ credit, and I can still not like him for the stuff he said about the greats of the game. And because Joe Ingles played him off the fucking floor in 2017. So let's not get into that. But AD was taking Gobert to the cleaners. Barbecue escargot tonight. That stat line. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the things I liked about that stat line. 36 points. So you have AD averaging 30 plus. 16 rebounds. Who's going to not love that? And then you got the steal and 3 blocks. But how about 20 plus shot attempts? If you're a Laker fan, you want that from AD. You want him constantly putting pressure on the defense because it's so hard to guard him without fouling when he's got that full head of steam. And he's done a really good job since that turning point I said, like mid-2023 season, of just ramming into dudes' chests. He's being more aggressive to me than ever before because, this is a guy that came into the league as a guard or played guard his whole life. Not came into the league. Played guard his whole life. So he likes the face-up game. He has those point guard skills. He's got a handle, but he's 6'11", so like 6'10". He's listed out on Basketball Reference. So he's a big dude, and he's not that great of a shooter. So it's better for him to be around the basket because he's great around the rim. He's a great lob threat, and he gets offensive rebounds. And let me tell you, he did exactly that in this game. I was wondering, because JJ's so anti-old school, are you going to see Anthony Davis not post up anymore? But you still saw him post up in this game. Not that much. But you also saw a lot of them just back to basket, high post with movement off of them. And I just think that's really good stuff. But before we talk about some more really good stuff, including the performance of Rui Hachimura and specifics about this game, I got to tell you a little something about DraftKings. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes? Who's crashing their boards? Anthony Davis in this case, and grabbing rebounds. Get behind your favorite players in the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time? Well, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code ABTV. That's code ABTV for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPNY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-9777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/bball. Shout out to Chris Does Tough 28. What's up, Dime? Excited for tomorrow? Absolutely. I'm excited for tomorrow. You'll get a crazy vlog on Thursday. Shout out to the Clipper fans. They're going to be at that one. It's going to be a historic night for us. But it was a historic night tonight for another reason, and that is that LeBron James took the floor with his son, Bronny. I remember seeing Bronny on the sideline in Cleveland when I was 8 years old watching NBA TV, and he was laying there on a towel. Now to see him playing in an NBA game, checking in with his dad, what a surreal moment for the dads around the world. Obviously, I can't relate at all right now, but what an amazing moment for sports, for LeBron. You had Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. in the house. Amazing. And as far as when Bronny was in the game, I like that he took that right wing three off the pass from his dad with confidence. Julius Randle scored on him, but it wasn't necessarily bad defense. It's just kind of mouse in the house kind of vibes there. But, he's not quite ready for this level yet. He's going to spend some time in the G. But it was funny that when he came in, the crowd had this huge buzz, and the Minnesota Timberwolves kind of went on a little bit of a run. Let me see what Bronny's plus minus came out to. -5. So not the end of the world. But yeah, he had a donut and played 3 minutes and was 0 for 2, 0 for 1 from 3. His second shot attempt was actually a tip attempt where he crashed the offensive glass and got blocked. It was good to see him be active out there. But yeah, it was more of a spectacle than actually anything serious. But talked about the Laker offense. How about the Laker defense? Very physical in that first half, playing with a purpose, defending with intensity, and Rui Hachimura was part of that as well. And as far as the Timberwolves, we got to talk about their offense because there's always two sides to every coin. And by the way, there was a decent amount of drop coverage from Jackson Hayes and AD, but also a lot of moments where they were switching 1 through 5 with Jackson Hayes getting out to the perimeter, AD getting out to the perimeter. So keep an eye on that if JJ wants to incorporate more 1 through 5 switching. But the Wolves, they got super stagnant offensively. And we saw that in the playoffs last year that they would get stagnant offensively, especially with Anthony Edwards out of the game. And when Ant-Man was out, it was DiVincenzo, who in the first half was dog shit, in my opinion, taking bad shots, dribbling around, doing nothing. And then there was one play where he was just standing around on an offensive rebound, didn't even look like he was trying. I was like, what's going on? And then Randle, he's going to be Randle. He's going to make an occasional step back. He's going to post up from too far away. He's going to ball pound and not make quick decisions. And then sometimes he's going to crash the boards hard. But tonight, I thought his effort level for a first game, you're making a first impression on a new fan base, not good enough at all. Not good enough at all. And there were people, including myself, in that preview. By the way, I just released it. Full Western Conference preview and prediction show. See where I had everybody finishing. It's time-stamped. Their offense is going to be clunky. Julius Randle's not convincing anybody from the outside. In this game, he was 1 for 3 from deep. He's not really a threat. Team's going to live with him shooting the ball from out there. Jaden McDaniels, last season, he shot 34% from 3. So their spacing is not great. You really just have Mike Conley and the Ant-Man. They're going to scare people from deep. So that's going to be tough. It was nasty to see. 33-19, the Lakers outscored them in the second quarter. LeBron and Anthony Davis leading the way. Gobert couldn't guard AD. But the Wolves still generated some open threes, which, again, every team generates open threes these days. It's so hard to guard. And they just couldn't make them in that first half. D'Lo was also missing some good looks. And by the way, I just can't stand the way the NBA is officiated now. Guys will get raked at the rim, but a little bit of perimeter contact and bumping is a foul. Like there was one foul called on Anthony Davis tonight where he was going up vertical. There were moments that there was so much more contact than that. Rui Hachimura got raked on a fast break late in the game. LeBron got hit pretty bad one time. Austin Reeves got taken out one time. So just really strange officiating moments. And after watching the WNBA finals, it's just so funny. Like just the whole WNBA season, the amount of contact that's allowed on the ball and on pick and rolls, night and day. They don't let the bigs bump or hedge, like really physically hedge. And then the players can't really fight through a screen with that hand, with that arm bar, with that hand check. Getting over screens, you got to be behind the guy, it seems, and just try to, recover and get back around him in the NBA. But anyway, second half, the Lakers had chances to blow it up open, and they were missing open threes. D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, you name it. But that's when I started seeing a lot more of that motion. The blind pig stuff, horns, and not just horns into a pick and roll horns passing into one of those guys at the elbow, moving off of that, some split action stuff. LeBron a screener a ton. I mean, the first play was LeBron as a screener, caught the ball in the short roll, alley-oop to Anthony Davis, like right off of the first play of the third quarter. So some really good stuff there. And I thought LeBron's passing was great. You wouldn't be able to tell with only 4 assists. But again, when you play in an offense like this, the stats, they might not do you justice. That's what I like to say about a lot of players that played in those kinds of offenses. but people love the fucking stats, the high usage. That's not my style. Ball movement, player movement, always the best way, in my opinion. But, I mean, yeah, I'll give an example. I do say it's always the best way, but like a team like the Clippers, we're going to need James Harden to create a ton of good shots to stay afloat because other guys just can't do it. And high pick and roll is his bread and butter. So like in our case, maybe not. But there are levels to the way how stagnant offenses can get. I thought Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves were great defensively throughout the game. AD had 13 in the third quarter, but the Lakers had a little sloppy ending to it with 2 straight turnovers. And DiVincenzo, I thought, was a lot better in that third quarter. Made some threes, better ball pressure defensively, had a couple of steals when the Lakers got sloppy, as I just mentioned, at the end of the quarter. And you saw Minnesota crashing the glass a bit, especially on long rebounds. In the third quarter, the Wolves outscored the Lakers 32-27, but I never really felt like the fourth quarter was in question for the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell, you needed him to make some plays, and then he finally started to. Began with a floater, getting into the lane, keeping the defender on his back, and then he had a nice pass. I think it was on a lob or it was on a fast break to someone, but that lob to Jackson Hayes, that really changed the momentum of the game for me and gave the Lakers a little bit of that cushion because they were getting close, Minnesota. Jackson Hayes, the one way I can describe him is he's active. He's not the most polished. He's just an athlete, but he's a vertical threat that's going to play hard. In this game, he played 15 minutes and he had 10 points and 4 rebounds and a block, no turnovers on 4 of 5 from the field. If you can get 10 and 4 in 15 minutes with no turnovers from your backup center, you're going to take that every day of the week. He made some big plays. And LeBron put the icing on the cake with the 3-ball late, but Anthony Davis just brought him home. Incredible blocks rotating at the rim. And Anthony Edwards tried. He tried to push it a little bit in the fourth quarter, but just wasn't enough. Eventually, the Lakers started throwing doubles at him, and he was making the right plays, but they just don't have – like they took an offensive hit without Cat. And is Randall as that secondary creator going to be able to have them in number 1 seed conversations like they were last year? I don't know. I had them 3rd in the West. If you go check out my video, I explain why. But that offense is a little clunky. They're really going to be relying on Anthony Edwards' brilliance every single night. If he gets injured, forget about it. Randall can carry, though. Randall might be able to carry a bit, but his effort tonight was just diabolical. And Karl Anthony Towns, last year defensively, he actually played with some effort. So, I don't know. DiVincenzo will have better games. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, guys like that, they'll even have better games. I thought this wasn't a very good game for Jaden McDaniels. Jaden only had 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal on 3 for 8 shooting and 0 for 3 from deep. Nickeil Alexander-Walker actually played well. Sorry, I don't know why I even said that. 14 points, 5 rebounds. Did have 2 turnovers, though, on 5 for 7 shooting and 3 for 4 from 3. DiVincenzo, in his Timberwolves debut, played 32 minutes, twice as many as McDaniels, who was in foul trouble, and he had 10 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, and 2 steals to go along with 1 turnover. That all sounds good, but he was 3 for 11 from the field, 2 for 8 from 3, and 2 for 4 from the foul line. Joe Ingles, boo, made his debut for the Wolves, 7 minutes, 0 for 1, a donut. And let's see, Naz Reid, 12 points, 4 rebounds on 3 for 8 shooting and 2 for 4 from 3. He had the Wolves he was part of the push, in my opinion, to get the Wolves kind of within, 6 points? But Anthony Davis was just too much. And it was the Lakers' night, their first opening night win since 2016-17 season. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Mike Conley was 1 for 7, so they didn't get anything from him. He was a minus 22, 5 points, 4 boards. If he takes a big step down, because he's getting old, the Wolves are going to be in trouble. Rudy Escar-Gobert, he had a double-double, 13 points, 14 boards, 2 assists, 1 block on 5 for 8 shooting, 3 for 4 from the foul line. I thought he was pretty good, but AD just owns him. Randall in his debut, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers on 5 for 10 shooting, 1 for 3 from 3, 5 for 7 from the foul line. I don't know. It just feels clunky. I thought he was okay. Not great. Defensively, he was bad, and you can't really tell that from the stats. Dalton Connect. I think he can be dangerous. He really can shoot the ball. He was playing with confidence when he was in. He had 5 points, a rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. He was a +7, and he was 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from deep. Already talked about Bronny James. You got some Max Christie tonight, 11 minutes from him, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 0 for 3 from the field. All his shots were threes, 2 for 2 from the foul line. Don't have much to say about him, especially because I missed some of his first quarter minutes. Then Gabe Vincent. You're getting a full year of Gabe Vincent with no injury problems this season. Right now, knock on wood. He had 2 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, little deuces wild. Shout out to the great Vince Scully, and 2 turnovers. 1 for 2 from the field for him in 17 minutes. This Lakers bench isn't very strong. It's really going to come down to the starters. I think everyone knows that. I think JJ Baby Dick knows that. All the starters with 34 plus minutes in this game. D'Angelo Russell with 9 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a turnover on 4 for 12 shooting and 1 for 7 from 3. So I don't think D'Lo was very good. I think he had a solid fourth quarter, though, and that was a contributing factor to the win, but he didn't shoot very well. I'm interested to see how in a motion scheme, and I thought he was moving really well off the ball, especially in that first half when the Wolves went zone for a little bit, flashing to that high post and making plays. But will he be able to stay in rhythm in more of a catch and shoot role and more of a movement role? We'll see. Rui Hachimura, what a solid game he had on both ends. 18 points, 5 rebounds. I think the Lakers are going to try to have LeBron guard the threes more, and not the three-pointer, but small forwards to keep him away from that low block, where Rui Hachimura will be that secondary help from AD because it's more taxing on the body. Rui Hachimura with 18-5, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block, and no turnovers tonight. 7 for 14 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the line. Thought he was spectacular. And then Austin Reeves, defensively, doing all the little things, was huge. 12 points, 9 rebounds, 4 offensive, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block on 6 of 14 shooting. He was 0 for 5 from 3. So as I said, they missed a lot of good looks. The Lakers only shot 17% from 3 tonight. Minnesota 32. So neither team shot well, but the Lakers were putrid. The Wolves 41% from the field. Lakers 44% from the field. And they had 10 more field goal attempts. From the foul line, Lakers were 21 for 25, so 84%, very strong. Wolves 20 for 27, just 74%. So you better believe that made a little difference in the game. LeBron James, 16, 5, and 4. Not crazy for LeBron. 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. Thought defensively, not great in transition. Decent on the ball, though, I would say. And it's funny because if you ask me what was LeBron in his primes, best defensive categories, I'd say definitely in transition with his chase down blocks and his rotations and his help defense in the passing lanes. On ball, not as much. But right now, I think when he actually gets challenged one-on-one defensively, he's better. And off ball, he can fall asleep. And as that low man, he just doesn't put in that same effort all the time. And in transition, he can be lazy getting back. But in this game, I thought LeBron was very solid despite the stat line. But AD, player of the game, the man, 36 points, 16 boards, 4 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks, as I said. Ant-Man, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists on 10 for 25 shooting, and 5 for 13 from 3. And here's the thing about Ant-Man, just 2 for 3 from the foul line. If he wants to shoot 13 threes out of 25 shots, so be it. But he can get to the rim anytime he wants. It's the same thing with Ant-Man. But yeah, good win for the Lakers and a great performance by JJ as a coach. I'm not going to go in much depth about the Celtics because I'm going to just say this. The Celtics are the best team in the league. They have 4 all-star caliber players. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are brimming with confidence. And Jason Tatum looks like his jumper's back. The jumper was massively struggling last season. And by the way, that ring night was beautiful. Having Bob Cousy out there with Paul Pierce, Jason Tatum, I think that was really special. The Lakers and the Celtics have such rich histories. So I have so much respect for both of them as a franchise. And it was really great to see, Kuz in the house for the Celtics and Banner 18. It was crazy. It was a surreal moment. And of course, Massachusetts is my second home. So shout out to all those people. I don't love Boston having the more titles than an LA team. I can't lie, but they deserved it. Jason Tatum was spectacular. And it looks like his shot has a little bit of less of that two motion, that hitch. He had a little bit of a hitch last season. And it looked more fluid tonight. And with Karl-Anthony Towns making his Knicks debut in drop coverage, he was just walking into threes. And then when they started showing, They had guys in the short roll, ball was moving. And the beauty about the Celtics is not just that they have guys that can hit threes, but they have guys that can attack closeouts and make plays. And Derek White and Drew Holiday can do that and have done that and did that last year en route to a title. And when Jason Tatum's making threes like that, you don't even need Porzingis. I mean, the Celtics tied the record tonight for most threes made in a game. You know, they're going to, but they, for the most part, I would say like 85% or 90% of them are the right threes. And I think last year the Celtics got over that hurdle of taking those bad threes as much. They took the right threes, and a lot of it starts with paint touches, penetrate and pitch. They space the floor really well, and they have high-level decision makers and guys that can guard. Right now, they're the prototype of a modern team. They're very, very good. So, yeah, they smacked the Knicks. As far as the Knicks, you want to talk about hitches in a jump shot? Mikal Bridges. I don't know what was up with that. He ended up shooting a decent percentage, 7 for 13 from the field, but his three ball looked nasty, 2 for 7. I don't know why he changed up his shot, and they just didn't have much fight. I thought they fought harder than the Timberwolves, and the Celtics just rained on them, but they didn't fight really hard. And first impressions, as far as Cat in the Knicks jersey, it's very weird looking, not used to it. But I actually liked that he was initiating out of the post more. And he had that nice left-handed jump hook early on in the game, posting up from a little too high. But I liked his approach. He was drawing some double teams. I honestly don't think that he was bad offensively at all. 12 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, no turnovers on 5 for 9 shooting from him. And by the way, the Lakers were very low turnover, under 10 turnovers. Let me just double check that number real quick. 7 for the Lakers, 16 for the Wolves. So there you go. That's huge. But for the Celtics, 29 made threes, ties an NBA record. They were 29 for 61 from three. Holy fuck. 47.5% from there, 50.5% from the field, and only 8 free throw attempts, which, again, when you shoot a bunch of threes, that's normal. Made 7 of them. But the Knicks got blown out. And Karl-Anthony Towns, I like the efficiency, but defensively, whether it's cat and drop or cat hedging, without Mitchell Robinson, they're going to be much worse defensively. And not having Isaiah Hartenstein anymore, Precious Achiuwa, Jericho Sims, they're not high-level backups for a championship caliber team, which the Knicks are trying to be this year. And they got to do a better job staying in front, fighting over screens. But the Celtics are just tough because the second you throw 2 at the ball, especially when you have Tatum and Brown as decision makers, they can just see over the top of the defense, make one pass, and now it's 4-on-3 numbers, and you're in trouble. And that's what the dilemma is with the Celtics. Unless you have switch everything personnel, you're in a tough spot. Jason Tatum was spectacular tonight. 37 points, 4 boards, 10 assists. No USA minutes. Okay. 14 for 18 from the field and 8 for 11 from 3. Astonishing. I thought Derek White and Drew Holiday were incredible. Derek White with 24 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 8 for 13 shooting and 6 for 10 from 3. Jaylen Brown, the finals MVP, with 23 points and 7 boards on 7 for 18 shooting and 5 for 9 from 3. And the craziest part about it all is that the Celtics only turned the ball over 4 times. That is insane. They were up 43-24 after 1, and it wasn't even a game after that. OG Anunoby was 1 for 7, 4 points, 0 for 4 from 3. Jalen Brunson had 22 to lead the way for the Knicks, as well as Deuce McBride, who picked up right where he left off from the playoffs, looking really confident in his jump shot, and like it's continued to get better. 22 points for him on 8 for 10 shooting and 4 for 5 from 3. Drew Holiday, 18 points on 7 for 9 shooting and 4 for 6 from 3. Dominant performance by the favorite to win the chip, the defending champs. The Celtics win it 132-109. And yes, that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. It's late. I got to do Locked On Clippers. And tomorrow is going to be a special vlog for everyone. It won't be out tomorrow, so watch the game. Thursday it'll be out. Check out my videos. I made a ton of content the last couple of days predicting where every team in the West is going to finish, reacting to the Dodgers. And yeah, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of JJ's performance or the Celtics game if you're a Celtics fan. Whatever you want to say. I'm not going to say go anybody. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll see you guys for the next live. Will probably be on Friday night. Lakers, Suns, and Dodgers, Yankees game 1. Have a great night, LA. Have a great night, everybody, wherever you may be. Go Clippers. History tomorrow, baby. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela. You are one of the greatest, arguably Mount Rushmore of LA athletes. Changed everything. You'll never be forgotten. Fernando Mania will always be the littest shit ever that I wish I could have experienced. Love you. Go Dodgers. Go Fernando. Rest in peace.